What is good, everybody? It's Valkia. There is finally a solution for you to practice air shots in Overwatch when you're playing Pharah. This is something which a lot of people ask me about on how do I practice air shots, how do I practice doing all this, and I've not really had a proper solution. There's only been very temporary kind of fixes. There's no training ground where you can shoot, you know, flying bots in the sky. Now, a really good workshop has come around from a guy called Giacomand, and it basically helps you practice air shots. It's perfect, so we're going to look at it. I'm going to show you how to access it. At the moment, it's accessed... Oh, it's by everybody now. The workshop is available for everybody, which is nice. So, if we want to access it, first of all, go to Play, and then Game Browser, Create, and then what you want to do is you're going to be going to Settings, and then Import here. You see the summary at the top, Import Code. So the code for this I'll put it in my Discord, and I'll also put it below here as well on the video. So 572RS. Then if you put that code in, that will bring up all the settings for the training for the air shots, which is really nice. I do make some modifiers myself as well, which is something you might want to follow. So to begin with, I'm going to go to Heroes, go to Pharah. I'm going to put Pharah's damage dealt. I'm going to put that to about maybe 240. I should put it to like 210, around there. Because what's going to happen is I want to be able to one-shot the Annas, so I'm going to put Anna bots in there. So that's done, so we just go back from here. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add AI, and then you want to put it onto, I put it Anna, I put it onto hard, and put it onto team 2. So that fills up the second side of the team, and they're the bots that's going to be kind of thrown into the air for you to practice shooting. Alright, so that's basically it for the setup. You're going to go ahead and click Start. It will take you into the game. This is really exciting because I was practicing on this for a good few hours yesterday, just because it's so fun. You know, it's a good challenge. So pick Pharah, and this is a teleporter. So if you go through here, it'll teleport you to the beginning. So there's a couple of things to note on here. At the beginning, you'll see in the top left-hand corner you'll have distance. So if you crouch, that distance will then change. So this is how far away the actual Annas are. So pressing spacebar will make them come closer. Sorry, go further away, and pressing crouch will make them come closer to you. Alright, so the first practice that I would like people to do and get familiar with is the trajectory of the Anna and the way that she's moving in the air. So to do that, what I normally do at the very beginning of somebody moving is I'll just keep my crosshair on them and I'll follow them around. And by doing this, you get used to the movement and how far people actually travel in their kind of arc pattern. Sometimes people go straight up, and then you can just track them straight down. And then what I will normally do for a shot is I'll put my crosshair on them to the peak, and then I'll recorrect it at the bottom of where I'm actually going to shoot. So if that Anna's going up, I'll then move my crosshair further down. But by doing this, you're just getting used to the movement of the Annas. So just pick a target and going around. This is the first thing for people to do, just so they know where the Anna is going to be traveling. Might seem stupid to begin with, but just pick a target and just track them around and keep your crosshair on them. Because what that'll enable you to do is something like this. I know that Anna's going to fall down around there. Put a rocket in, the Anna goes down. And that goes for anything which is on a curve as well. So I'm following the Anna. I know how fast the rockets travel, so put a rocket in, follow the Anna around. So we've done the tracking element where we're holding the crosshair onto the target just so we get used to the way that they're moving and the curves. The second element of this is doing that but without actually tracking them with your crosshair. You're just watching them in your mind with like a visual line on where they're going to be going. So this is important because it's going to help you plan where you're going to be shooting and where the rocket is going to be colliding with your target. So what I do is when I look at a target, I'll kind of see this visual element in my mind, like a line of the trajectory of that Anna, where she's going to be going and where she's going to be falling. And that's how I plan where I'm going to shoot my rocket. So on the screen now, you can kind of see I've drawn a bit of a visual line on like the video, so you can get an idea of what I'm seeing in my mind, and it really helps me plan. Now, the second part of that is how fast do the rockets actually travel, and realistically, the best way to do that is just practice on this training ground and just shoot a couple of targets, and you will get used to how fast the rockets move, and that will again help you with your predictions on where you need to place the rocket. So I've put an X onto the line as well, because that's where I want to be able to hit the Anna. So I will recorrect my aim to be able to shoot a rocket, knowing the timings of how fast the rocket takes to go from my gun to hitting that target. And that's the second part of this training, is just watching the Annas and just seeing in your mind the line that she's going to be taking And that's really going to help you with your predictions. So it doesn't feel completely empty and completely without sort of science, let's say. So the third part of this training, let's say, what you're going to be doing is, the first part was we'll be keeping our crosshairs on the target. Now what we want to do is we want to put our crosshair in front of the target at the same distance that the rocket would be able to... Hello? What are you doing? Alright, I'll put you back in. And cut! Let's start that one again. Alright, so... First training was we were holding our crosshairs onto the Ana. Now, that's no good with a hero like Pharah because we're a projectile. We're shooting and there's a travel time between the rocket and the hit. So what you want to do is you want to put your crosshair on that line that we're kind of visualizing, and you want to keep that crosshair on the line exactly where you would be shooting to hit a direct hit. So for example, this Ana, I'll be kind of putting it in front, this Ana, I'll be following it down. And by doing this, because you are now visualizing a line of where that Ana is going to be flowing, is going to help you keep your crosshair positioned where it needs to be able to get that hit. So coming up, going down, going around a bit too close, around this area here, going down here, going up, and then down a bit here. By keeping it in front, you're helping keep yourself one step ahead of the prediction of what's going to be happening. It gets a little bit more complex with heroes such as Genji, when Genji has a double jump, for example, because you have to be prepared for that. So sometimes you'll see in games I'll keep my crosshairs on Genji because I'm waiting for them to use their double jump. But with a training ground such as this, we know the Anas aren't going to be doing a double jump in the air. They're going to be just falling down. So keeping your crosshair in front. And the better you become at this, the quicker you'll know where to put the rocket in to be able to get the shot, basically. So I'm just coming around, crosshair in front, coming around, crosshair in front, drop the reload. And that's basically all there is to it on this one. So keep your crosshair in front, and then you can snap to different targets in front on the lines. So on that line, on this line now, on this line over here, keeping it in front. So let's talk about distances and how that changes the way that you aim. So with distances, let me put this to 10 meters, so space a couple of times. See, top left-hand corner is now changed to 10. So the idea is exactly the same. The only change is the distance between you and your target has increased, which means there's going to be a longer travel time for your rocket. So you'll still be doing the same practice by putting your crosshair in front, but instead of keeping it at a distance which is shorter, your crosshair will be further away from the target just to account for that extra travel time. So pick this target, so around here. So the target going up, just have to account for that extra little bit of time for the rocket to go from you to them. And you'll kind of warm up to this. Even I'll kind of miss quite a few rockets and just get used to it, and you'll kind of figure the timings out. Just like put one in, boom.
That's how it's done.
And the more you practice, the better you will become at this. So the premise is exactly the same. Let's see what this... So the furthest distance away... Wow. 100 meters away. I don't even think I'm at... I won't be able to hit one of these. The one down at the bottom there. That is... Okay. I didn't realize that this went so far. I hope you've enjoyed this airshot tutorial. It's the most detailed one I've been able to make, purely now because we have the workshop from Giacomand, so big shout out to the creator of this one. The workshop code will be in my Discord, a link in the description, so make sure to practice on there as well. It's such a good toolkit for Pharah. If you have improved from this video, let me know in the comments. Would love to see people's progress. Would love to see some new people on my Discord as well. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to do so. Make sure to follow me on all the social media. So there's Twitter, which I post a lot of Pharah clips on. Instagram, which I'm also posting quite a few Pharah clips too. But would love to have new people over there. So peace out. Thank you for watching the video, and have yourself an amazing day.